You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Monday, February 9th. I'm Maria Lizignoli.
And I'm Johnny Connor. Thanks for listening to Four Things to Know.
Our top story today. Dr. Jeff Johnson, a Republican candidate for governor, has suspended his campaign after his daughter was killed in St. Cloud over the weekend. According to police, Johnson's daughter appears to have been a victim of domestic violence. Authorities say she was found dead in her apartment building Saturday night with multiple stab wounds. The Minnesota Republican Party released a statement today saying, in part, quote, "Out of respect for his family and the enormity of this loss, Jeff has suspended his campaign for governor of Minnesota. We ask all Minnesotans to join us in lifting up the Johnson family during this incredibly painful time." And also new today, Dr. Scott Jensen is pulling out of the governor's race as well. Instead, he will seek the office of state auditor. In his announcement from this morning, he pointed to the fraud in Minnesota and said in part, quote, "I am ready and determined to be the person who opens up the hood and looks at what the engine of our government is doing and not doing and fix it." The switch comes less than a month after he revealed his running mate in the governor's race. Jensen served in the Minnesota Senate from 2017 to 2021.
Number two, new today, despite claims by the Trump administration that they are going after the, quote, worst of the worst when it comes to immigration enforcement, a new report from CBS News shows that may not actually be the case. An internal DHS document obtained by CBS News shows that less than 14% of the nearly 400,000 people arrested by ICE in President Trump's first year back in office had charges or convictions for violent criminal offenses. Nearly 40% of all those arrested by ICE did not have any criminal record at all. The official statistics in the document provide the most detailed look yet into who ICE has arrested.
Number three, another day, another student protest at a metro school district. But this one at a Robbinsdale school definitely sets itself apart for its location and creativity. Jonah Kaplan reports from the Fair School in Crystal. He speaks with Zaraba Ross, the school's principal, and he tells us more about the chain of love hanging in the school's main commons area.
Hundreds of pieces of construction paper, each with either positive or uplifting messages for students and families affected by the immigration crackdown. The project student-led, but it was really the principal who made it happen. He said the students came to him last week wanting to stage a walkout, but he said no. No leaving class, no missing instruction, no shouting, no screaming. How about we get creative? How about we get positive instead? And it was a message and lesson that certainly resonated, and a real teaching opportunity too.
We teach our students how to have voice, and even with our teachers or even with me, I want my kids to have voice, but I want them to understand how to do it in the right way. And so shouting and yelling is really not going to accomplish anything. It's going to make people agitated.
Number four, an inspection was performed at the Whipple Federal Building today. Late last month, the Advocates for Human Rights group filed a class action lawsuit against DHS. They allege that the conditions at the Whipple are not satisfactory. In an excerpt from that lawsuit, they say, quote, "The Whipple facilities lack beds, adequate toilets, and other infrastructure, including private phones where privileged calls may be conducted, needed to hold incarcerated individuals for longer periods of time. Nonetheless, defendants are now holding detainees in Whipple for days at a time," end quote. Over the weekend, a judge granted the group's request to perform an inspection at the federal building. 2 attorneys and 2 party representatives were there this morning. The group was allowed to interact with detainees, but were not able to carry phones or cameras. We have reached out to the group following their visit, and you can look for updates in our later newscasts and online today at WCCO.com. Those are the 4 things to know today. Now let's check in on our next weather forecast.
I'm meteorologist Mike Augustinak. Today, a warm day with temperatures in the mid-40s, but we'll have a little bit of a light wintry mix later on tonight, mostly north of the Twin Cities, and a bigger chance for some rain-snow mixed on Thursday. We've got all the details you need online.
And now, here's more to know.
The family of 5-year-old Liam Ramos will have more time to make their case for asylum. A family attorney says a federal judge granted a continuance during a hearing Friday. DHS wanted to end asylum claims for the family, but the judge gave them some extra time. The preschooler and his Ecuadorian father were taken from their suburban Minneapolis driveway last month to a family detention center in Texas. And he wasn't the only student taken. Elizabeth Zuna is now back in Minnesota this week after being detained for a month. She's a fourth grader at Columbia Heights Public Schools. The district says ICE detained Elizabeth and her mother and sent them to a federal detention center in Texas. The school believes at least 3 other students in the district are in federal custody.
Tomorrow, top immigration officials will be on Capitol Hill to testify at an oversight hearing. ICE senior official Todd Lyons and Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Rodney Scott will be among those called to testify. This is for the House Committee on Homeland Security. The Senate Committee on Homeland Security will meet on Thursday. That meeting comes just one day before a deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats have issued a list of reforms they want to see before approving that funding. They want mandatory body cameras, a ban on face coverings, and tightened use warrants. If an agreement is not reached, ICE and CBP will continue operating with money set aside in last year's Big Beautiful Bill. Other agencies like FEMA, the Coast Guard, and the TSA would shut down. Back here in Minnesota, a 3-month review is examining where Medicaid programs are vulnerable to fraud. The state is partnering with United Healthcare company Optum to develop technology that will flag fraud. They're using data analytics and AI to look for weaknesses and build an automated service to review medical claims before they're actually paid.
Environmentalists are sounding the alarm on the potential harm of a precious metals mine that could be built on the doorstep of the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. Despite pushback from some Minnesota Democrats, last month, congressional Republicans passed a resolution lifting a 20-year ban on mining near the Boundary Waters. The Senate could vote on the issue as soon as this week. Now, environmentalists like Chris Knopf, the executive director of Friends of the Boundary Waters, are fighting to stop a copper and nickel mine from being developed near the Boundary Waters.
And they want to put a copper nickel sulfide mining operation right at the edge of the Boundary Waters. And that water would flow into the Boundary Waters and contaminate it with sulfate pollution.
Those who support the project say it will bring hundreds of jobs, pump billions of dollars into the regional economy, and make the U.S. less dependent on other countries for vital minerals.
Maria, let's talk sports. We know the Seahawks won the Super Bowl.
Yes, they did.
But we have to talk about the Vikings because to see Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl, something the Vikings have never done in their long, long history, his first year away from us. It's so sad. Like, I'm so happy for him, but like...
Right.
It's just pain.
Just sad. It's painful for us.
Yeah.
Happy for him. He's doing great. Something worked for him in Seattle, but yeah, it's just like, dang it.
The irony is crazy.
I know.
And now the Vikings fire their GM. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the team this year because this last year was a disaster. There's no other way to say it.
And we were blaming Darnold for the year before.
Yeah, those last 2 games. Crazy.
But you know what? Good for him. Good for the Seahawks. And yeah, we're excited for what's to come next year.
We have no idea.
No idea.
Something you've also seen by now, we got to talk about Lindsey Vonn.
Yes. Oh, Lindsey. Oh, another sad story.
For us here in Minnesota, a scary crash for the hometown legend. She broke her left leg competing in the Olympics yesterday. Just less than 13 seconds into her run, she struck a gate and flung sideways. Now, the race, it was put on hold as the 41-year-old was cared for. She was put on a stretcher and taken by helicopter to be evacuated. Now, this crash came just 9 days after Vonn teared her ACL in her last race pre-Olympics. But we heard from fans out at Buck Hill yesterday, where Vonn obviously grew up skiing. They say the crash does not take away from her legacy.
I love Lindsey. And we were so proud of her, and we knew she would have done a great job. And we have to give her so much credit for trying and doing her best. And that was a fall no one could recover from.
Everybody loves the comeback. Ex-champion comes back, does great, and at some point the chain just ends, and this might be it for her, but what a run.
But what a run.
Crazy. Hall of Famer.
Olympic gold medalist and just, you know, it's true. I don't think anyone could have come back from that fall. She clipped the gate and there was nothing really she could do.
Yeah, the worst part, just hearing her in pain after the crash. It was devastating.
No, it really was devastating. And the camera didn't linger for long. They were like, we don't know what's happening. Let's just give it a beat. And then you see her get airlifted away. And now we know that she did break her leg, which is just so tragic. But you know what? She did have such a good run, just like her fans said over at Buck Hill.
And the silver lining, Vaughn's teammate Breezy Johnson from Wyoming took home gold in the event. So it was the first medal for Team USA at the Olympic Games. And she won just by 0.04 seconds. It's, crazy minimal amount of time there.
Yeah.
And get this, the only other woman to win the downhill event for Team USA, it was Lindsey Vonn 16 years ago.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, Breezy Johnson's run was amazing. She went first in the morning, and just no one could catch up with her. Just no one could beat her.
The downhill might be my favorite event.
It's so
cool. Fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
Okay, so Super Bowl Sunday was yesterday, and obviously everyone's talking about the game. The halftime show, Bad Bunny killed it. Johnny, what'd you think?
That was entertaining. I had no idea what was coming next.
No, of course, yeah, but it was entertaining the whole time for sure. But then the commercials, right? Everyone's other favorite part of the Super Bowl. And every single year, USA Today's ad meter has this contest to rank the best advertisements of the Super Bowl. And it's honestly no surprise, Budweiser came in top.
An American icon.
I mean, seriously, they have won it like the last, not every year, but they have like 10 first place winners for this ad contest. But so we both watched that specific ad. It was the ad called American Icons, like you said. It was just 60 seconds, and it outpaced Lay's in voting that wrapped up just hours after the game ended. The ad marked Budweiser's 150th anniversary while tying it to America's upcoming 250th with the iconic Clydesdale front and center. The story follows the rescue and rise of a bald eagle, set to Leonard Skinner's Freebird, a song executives say was the only choice. Budweiser beat Lay's, Pepsi, Dunkin', and Michelob Ultra to reclaim that top spot.
If their beer was as good as their advertisements, that would be another amazing thing.
I know, right? It is amazing how iconic and like such a staple that Budweiser is in the Super Bowl ads, because
it's always there.
It's always there, and it's iconic. It's the Clydesdale horse. This one was really cool because it was like two little babies, and you watch them grow up together.
Yeah, then the bird flying on the horse. Yeah, it was nice. They killed it.
So cool. They really did. They really did. Honestly, ads were kind of better than the game.
What a snore, honestly.
I know, right? Same with the halftime show, better than the game. It was kind of a boring game, but hey, NFL is wrapped up for the season. On that note, thanks for joining us here on 4 Things to Know. With Johnny Connor, I'm Maria Lizignoli. We're here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.